Snake in Rocio's hand, snake in Marwa's fish pond, snake everywhere. It is so funny and coincidence. Rocio talks about removing snake tattoo in her hand. On the other side, Marwa talks about a snake in his fish pond. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to break down today is not just a normal YouTube story. This is deeper, this is psychological, this is spiritual, this is symbolic. You have Rocio talking about removing a snake tattoo from her hand. At the same time, you have Marwa talking about seeing a green snake inside his fish pond. Snakes here, snakes there, snakes everywhere. Now let us pause. Ask yourself this question. Is this coincidence, or are we witnessing something deeper, something emotional, something spiritual, something that is not being said directly, but it is being expressed indirectly? Today, I am going to walk with you step by step, not rushing, not guessing, but analyzing deeply, so that by the end of this video, you will not just see what is happening, you will understand it deeply. Watch these clips, then we dive deep into today's discussion.
To these things. So today I can say that probably eventually I will start removing this tattoo. Yeah. I don't believe that this tattoo never thought like that, but I do feel like, yeah, of you are right, and I believe that something may change if I don't have this tattoo anymore. Of the very common comments in my testimony in my video is, okay, now Rocio, you have to remove this tattoo. Which, let me be clear and honest, I don't obey people, I only obey God. But I've been praying hard and asking me to guide me on what to do with this, because as I share very openly that I did started to feel regret, or I do honestly repent for this tattoo, because I found out that I was lied to. And the reasons why I did this tattoo were not really those reasons. And that prayer has been answered, and I'm not ready to share it because it's more difficult than I thought, and I just need to be ready. But do some.
Beautiful people, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, another episode for this amazing YouTube channel that goes by the name Maxwell Lumumba Africa. Maxwell Lumumba is my name, a village content creator, a village boy, born and raised in a village setup with no jobs. At the end of the day, I do content creation to earn a living. That being that, today's video, I'm going to speak about snakes, spiritual shifts, and silent message, the untold story behind Rocio's tattoo and Marwa's fish pond. So for those who have not subscribed to this amazing YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, and share this video to other individuals so that they can know what is happening in this wonderful YouTube channel. Let us make sure that we turn on the notification bell so that any day, anytime I post any video, You people get notified and watch these videos till the end. Let us continue showing love to this YouTube channel. Let us continue hyping my videos. Let us give likes to all my videos. And that being that, let me start by saying this. I really appreciate everything that is happening about the GoFund. Let us continue supporting the GoFund. Today I'm going again to pin the GoFund link so that we'll continue supporting the widow. We know what she's undergoing. We know what she has posted. We have watched. Let us continue supporting her. And so far, I said we used 40,535 shillings to purchase child items. 2,000 used for transportation. Yesterday, I used 1,300 to refill her gas. So that is what I can say as far as GoFund is concerned. The rest of the money intact, 100%. The budget goes directly to the GoFund, or is being used directly by the widow and the unborn child. Anything beyond that, not accepted. And let me say this. I've received money from 3 subscribers, 2 anonymous, 1 that is Zims gave us money for a bedroom curtain. I'm going to action that today, just bedroom curtain for the window. I'm going to action that. The other subscriber gave us money for a door to the bedroom, so I'm going to work onto that. And this other subscriber gave us money for the remaining doors and curtains, remaining doors and curtains. So that means I'm going to action that what was instructed 100%. So let us continue supporting the widow, and the journey is still on. Having said that, let me begin my reaction video this way. Let me start with talking about something about timing, because timing reveals pattern. Rocio comes out publicly and says, I regret my snake tattoo. I don't know what it meant. Now I understand and I want to remove it. At almost the same period, Marwa is on his platform saying, there is a green snake in my fish pond. Now listen, when 2 people who were once emotionally connected, 2 lovers, start referring or referencing the same symbol around the same time, this is not something you ignore. This is what we call synchronized symbolism. When I was doing my animal videos, I told us what synchronization means, the same time, happening the same, or some 2 things that match, they go hand to hand. So it does not mean they are talking to each other directly, because by yesterday we were being told, I did a video, my reaction video, where Rocio and Marwa, they don't communicate. Marwa is trying to call Rocio. She's not picking. The same way Congress mom tries to call Rocio, she's not picking. But what it means is this: there is shared emotional or psychological space that has not fully closed. Because human beings, when we go through emotional experiences, we don't always speak directly. Sometimes we express them through symbols, through metaphors, through stories, through what looks like random statements, but then they are not random. They are expression of what is happening inside. Let me talk about the snake symbol. Rocio said, okay, before even I talk about the snake symbol, let me tell Rocio, we have ways, 3 good ways of how to remove tattoos. One of the ways is through laser method. Actually, that is very effective, and it is expensive because that tattoo has to be passed through lights, yeah, so as to break the ink, but it is too expensive. That is one way to get rid of tattoo. The other method is use of cream, but it is not that effective. Yeah, you apply cream. Some people, I don't know, it is gel, cream, some people call it paste, but that is not expensive. And there is one painful method, but which is called surgical removal. So that means they cut, especially for the small tattoo. That this one cannot be done in big tattoos. Yeah, for small tattoos, that place can be cut, removed. Yeah, surgically it can be removed or can be chopped off, so that you get rid of that tattoo. So those are just ways of removing tattoos. Yeah, so having said that, let me talk about snake as a symbol. I came on camera previously and I went deeper. What does a snake actually represent? I personally talked about African culture. Snake is related to evil. Biblically, snake is said to be evil because we remember the serpent, Adam and Eve, something of sort. Yeah, for those who know the Bible, you know. So let me say this, because if you don't understand the symbol, you will miss the entire message. Across history, across cultures, across belief system, the snake has always been one of the most powerful symbols. Let me break down or talk about those symbols slowly. First, the snake represents transformation. Why? Because a snake sheds its skin, meaning it leaves behind an old version of itself and becomes something new. So anytime you see someone talking about a snake, that is a strong possibility that they are going through change. Second, the snake represents deception and betrayal. A snake moves silently. You don't hear it coming. And when it strikes suddenly. So in human psychology, a snake can represent, I didn't see it coming, I was misled, I was deceived. And that is what a clear message of what Rocio herself, she's telling us. She's telling us that she was misled in putting that snake tattoo. She says she was deceived and she's going to lose friends because she's talking about change, yeah? To change to Christianity, or she's talking about Jesus. I'll be handling about that. So the snake represents spiritual awareness. In some traditions, the snake is not evil. It seems, or it is seen as a knowledge, as awakening, as realization. Now connect all these meaning and go back to Rocio's statement. I don't know what it meant before. Now I know. That sentence alone is not casual. This statement is awakening. This is someone saying, I was unaware before, but I can see clearly. Let me say this about Rocio's inner transformation. And we have to speak about that because she says she has found Jesus Christ. She is changing her life. She may lose friends. She is talking about the devil. She's questioning the new age belief. But at the same time, she says, I don't go to church, but I believe in Jesus. Now pause there. This is very important because what we are saying here is not traditional religion. This is what we call a personal spiritual awakening. Yeah, this kind of transformation usually happens when someone has gone through emotional pain, confusion, identity crisis, or a major life shift, and they begin to ask, who am I really? Who does I actually believe? What have I been following blindly? And what happens? People begin to reject old habits, question all decisions, reevaluate symbols, including the tattoo. So when Rocio looks at that snake tattoo now, she's not seeing ink. She's seeing the meaning of that tattoo. So she is seeing a past version of herself. And that is why she wants to remove it. And not because of fashion, because of identity. I've already seen a lot of people speculating the reason why she's removing the tattoo. Maybe it meant something when it comes to maybe between her and Marwa. I'm not going to say about that. That is going deeper into things that I'm not supposed even to talk about. Let me speak why the tattoos new feels wrong. Yeah, why does someone once you loved suddenly feel wrong? This is psychology. When your identity changes, anything that represents your old identity starts to feel uncomfortable, even painful. So that tattoo, which once felt like expression, now feels like contradiction. It is no longer aligning with what she's becoming. And there is something else. She says she was tricked into doing it. Now let us think about this carefully. That word, tricked, is not light. It suggests that influence, pressure, or lack of full understanding. So now, she's not just removing a tattoo. She is reclaiming control. She's saying, I'm no longer that person. And that is what Rocio message that she's with this calling me. That is basically telling us that she is no longer that person. Let me go back to Marwa's side and let us shift this narrative. Marwa talks about green snake in the fish pond, and I want to analyze or to visualize that a fish pond represents investment, growth, sustenance, and life. So fish pond is something you build, something you protect, something that feeds you. Now imagine snake inside that system. What does that represent? It represents hidden danger, disruption, something threatening your progress. So when Marwa talks about that, it may just be physical. Okay, it may not be just a physical snake. It could also reflect his mental state, his emotional experience, his perception of events around him. Because sometimes people describe external situation that mirror internal reality. Even when I was seeing about that video, you know, it came even in my mind, you know, some predators like snake, yeah. You see, like where I'm living right now, yeah. There is a time I was complaining about my chicken being attacked by mongoose, and this is near town. Actually, within the town, yeah. What about Marwa, who is in that exact village, yeah, where from the bottom we have rivers, water, cool environment. Plenty of mongoose can be there attacking the chicken. So when he came telling us about the 16 chicks, not even a big chicken, yeah. So that means that it can be predated against, yeah. Even snakes, we have seen scenario where snake even consume chicken, yeah. That is just a possibility. Let me talk now about what we call it subliminal communication. And I have to address this question. Everyone is thinking, yeah? Are these subliminal message here The honest answer is possibly, not necessarily intentional, but possible. When two people separate, especially after deep connection, there is something called emotional residue. Yeah? That means even if communication stops, the emotional link does not disappear immediately. So people begin to speak indirectly, use symbolism, share messages that are not direct but meaningful. So when Rocio talks about leaving the past, changing her life, removing the snake, and Marwa talks about a snake appearing in his space, it creates narrative that feels connected, whether intentional or not. It reflects a shared story. And let me say this, and let me talk to you directly, because this is not just about Rocio or Marwa. This is about you. Before you put something permanent in your body, follow trends, adapt symbols you don't fully understand, research, understand, because meaning changes with awareness. What looks cool today may feel heavy tomorrow. And if you are in a season of changing right now, if you feel like your beliefs are shifting, if you feel like you are leaving your old self behind, that is not a bad thing, that is growth. The growth requires honesty. Sometimes you have to let it go, or things that once defined you, even if it is painful, even if it is public, even if people don't understand. So again, I ask you, is this coincidence, or it is deeper connection playing out through symbols? Drop your comment below. Type, I see it now. If you understand this deeper level, subscribe for more real analysis. No noise, no hype, just truth. This is Maxwell Lumumba Africa, and I will see you in the next one. Also, support Vibe with Maxwell YouTube channel so as to make it the dreams become realizable. Goodbye for now. Let us continue supporting this YouTube channel.